Hi everybody, welcome to My Good Life. I'm Uzma. Last week I began the first series of my journey towards mental fitness. And the first exercise involved me preparing how my week was going to pan out. I did that by looking at how my personal life was, how my social life was for that week, and then my university and work life, because I work in both those places, and putting them all together and then observing where it is that things overlapped. What is it that I could have taken out to make my life a little easier or put in. This week is the next exercise, and I'm going to keep going back to the analogy of physical fitness. Preparation is key in maintaining good mental fitness. But preparation also requires a little bit of time. That's why it's important that when you do the first exercise, you do it on a weekly basis and you have to monitor it for a couple of weeks. I said earlier that I'm going to use the analogy of physical fitness and compare it. Mental fitness is how you feel, just like physical fitness. How does that exercise make you feel after you have done it? Or maybe a few weeks later, or a few months later. If you feel great, you'll continue doing that physical exercise. And the same applies for these, getting to a place where you say, I've got good mental fitness. It's how do you feel after doing these exercises? Does it make you feel more in control, more confident, more resilient? And if it's done that for you, if these exercises have allowed you to feel a sense of achievement and feel less stressed, less anxious in your everyday life, then slowly you will build up resilience over time. And it is resilience over time that will allow you to see things through when stressful events happen in your life. It will be your resilience that will allow you to navigate difficult and challenging circumstances when they occur, hopefully not too often. But building resilience requires reflection and analysis, personal analysis, not just with a therapist, and not only with a therapist if you choose to have one, but with yourself, and exploring what it is you do on an everyday basis. The next exercise requires me to monitor how I'm sleeping for that week. Let's go and sit down. So I talk about this. If I feel good at the end of a week, on a Sunday, when I'm sitting down making the chart for the following week, I know something has gone right. It's not good enough for me to just say, oh, something's gone right, I must be doing something right, but I don't know what it is. I want to know, why is it that I'm feeling like this? The easiest way I have found is by monitoring my sleep patterns. And if I'm sleeping badly during that, and I wake up having tossed and turned, I'll just mark my chart with a red dot. And if I have slept okay, or even well, I'll just mark it with another brightly coloured spot. When I'm sitting down on a Sunday and then making up the chart for the following week, I look at where bad sleep and where the good sleep has happened. Is there something that has made me sleep better? Often I find that if I've had a very good aerobic or gym exercise just the night before, I sleep quite well that night. And I have found this week that when I had a busy social schedule and I was trying to juggle two things, that night it took me a longer time to sleep. That makes me think about where should I now fit in some of my social aspects, and maybe if the aerobic's really good, I may shift that now to the center of the week. Monitoring how I have slept over the past week has allowed me to spend time on a Sunday, which is when I make the chart for the following week, to tweak certain aspects. But it also has allowed me to think about maybe changing certain behavioural patterns. If you're to recognise good mental fitness, you have to start analysing deeper aspects of how it makes you feel. And the first step to that is saying, if I sleep badly, it affects my day ahead. If I sleep well, it has affected my personal or social life in a positive way. And that is the beginning of deeper reflection. Oh, it's starting to rain, so I'm going to head in. Mental fitness weaves in to my life, into my social life, personal life, my work life. It isn't a separate entity. It just weaves in, and it creates the person that I am, how I feel, how I behave, how I think. So I feel it's really important that I understand that, but I have to understand it through some processes that I can identify with. And I have observed over the years that there are certain behaviours, certain patterns that are common, sleep being one of them. And as I go on in the series, I will share with you some of the other behavioural patterns that you can recognise for getting to good mental fitness. It's raining, so I'm going to go in, and until next time, goodbye.